We still locked the door, but Ro, let me get Ro. Let me see if she can recover from the fucking weed, fucking gummy. Ro,
I would delete it. Because I believe in making sure my partner uh believes in our relationship.
say it one more time.
I said I would, because if he asks, it's for a reason, and I like to respect his reasoning because it's for him.
Because he insecure.
It doesn't have to be insecure, particularly if so you're different. You run your multi-million dollar business from Instagram, I guess, and Facebook. I like I said, I'm just on there, friends and family and my kids, really, to be honest with you. So really it's not a big deal to me to delete it because it's not a necessity in my life. So I wouldn't mind deleting it, again, for the respect of the relationship and to make sure that he knows that I'm adhering to what he feels. I'm okay with deleting it.
So you can't make him feel secure. You can't make him feel secure while having social media.
I can make him feel secure, but that is something for him that he's not comfortable with, particularly if he doesn't have one.
Why? Because he's
You have to
insecure.
take that in consideration because he might not have one, and he might not have one for the reasons, whatever. So I would delete it. Now, if he got one and he want me to delete it, that's something different. But if he doesn't have one and he's like, I don't, I just don't see a point in having it, and I feel for our relationship that it's going to be helpful, then I would delete it. I don't have a problem with that.
To each their own, I guess. Then.
Oh no, Chief. No.
I mean,
no.
I understand their perspective. I don't necessarily agree with it. That's all I'm saying.
My question to you is,
Uh-oh.
if she, if she, are you open to y'all being open to sharing your social media with each other?
Am I open to it? I feel like I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like there's a need to. If she's, it's still again insecure. Okay, so insecurity for me is a trigger. Like I'm not comfortable with that. She needs to be my lady needs to be confident in who she is and believe in her man. If she can't do that, then I can't be with her. It's that simple for me.
Still be confident, believe in your man, and then ask for a concession where they do not feel like it is effective to growth of your relationship.
I don't think there's a need for us to share a social media account.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
Nah, we're not doing that. Like, do you do
Even
your thing?
You know you running for your multi-million dollar business.
But there's a difference though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's if she wants to be a part of the business, no problem. She can have access to it. I ain't tripping about that shit. But we're not about to have a joint social media account and like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can post.
Chief, she's saying she can have your passwords.
Yeah, I ain't tripping. I give them to her. I'm not tripping about that shit.
Okay.
Would you want hers?
No, I don't need that shit. I'm not tripping about that because she gonna do what she gonna do. She gonna do what she gonna do, and I'm gonna find out, and it's over for her.
Okay, fair. Alex,
No, I'm not. No,
not what?
I'm not shutting it down because you feel a way about it. That is your personal preference and feelings. Just not gonna do it. I feel like it's isolating. It makes me think of when people are in abusive relationships and they try to isolate you from your family and your friends and your wants and your needs. They're not telling you to do with that. I'm kind of on the wave with Chief on that. Like, if you want the password, fine, okay. I'm not doing anything crazy, and I also don't need to go and search for those things because if it's for me to find out, I will.
Okay.
Okay, so Alex, if I could ask you this question, so let's say we're married, right? And before we were married, you used to taking the pictures. You know how the girls take the pictures? They like hold the camera up and they take the little selfies or whatever. And you were doing that before we got married. Are you okay with not doing that anymore?
Well, it is. Me personally, I look at it as you saw what I was posting prior to us being together. I'm not going to stop just because we get into a relationship. If I make the decision and the choice to say, you know what, because I am married, I don't want that type of attraction or I don't want that type of attention anymore, then I would make that decision on my own. But that's not something that my husband would have to say to me. Just like, not that my husband ever did, but if he was a guy that went ahead and was always posting his body, shirts off, things like that, I would expect and imagine that you would have enough decorum and respect for our relationship to just stop doing that type of stuff. I don't believe in necessarily bringing unwanted attention.
But what if I didn't? What if I didn't see anything wrong with taking shirtless pictures or, posting my 6-pack abs and, what if I didn't have a problem with that? But you had a problem with it. How would you address that?
You know something, Gunny? I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I do think that it's going to be a discussion. I'm not going to be pleased with it. And if I'm being honest, in my marriage, that would be a consistent conflict. I do understand why couples feel the way that they do and why they argue when it comes to social media. And because I've never been in that position, I can't sit here and say that I would just be like, okay, that's fine. It doesn't bother me, because personally it would.
Okay. So I kind of think that goes to the question. So, if you're doing something that you don't really see anything wrong with, but I see something wrong with, there's a conflict there. So in that, how do I get you to stop that, to respect me when you don't feel that you're disrespecting me? In turn, I'm asking you to delete your social media. It's a
so there's compromise with that, though, right? Compromise. There's going to the extreme of saying, I don't want you to have it at all. Social media is entertaining as fuck. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and be bored just because you feel a way about it, right? The compromise would be, okay, have yours, but could you be a little bit more mindful and selective when you're choosing to post what you post? Now I feel like if I've expressed that to you, like, hey, I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z, I'm not saying you can't have social media. Can you be a little bit more tasteful with what it is that you post? Then I feel like you're being disrespectful in that realm. But for me to just go ahead and just completely have to get rid of it, because I'm not on social, and again, just speaking for me, I'm not up there posting pictures of myself. Most times I'm looking on the reels and the feeds and everything else. So it would be a conversation, and I do see and understand how it can be a conflict for people. But for me personally, I'm not getting rid of my page entirely.
But you are willing to make if he was, if you were into posting the bikini pics or whatever, and he was like, baby, that's a little too much, you'd stop doing that. You'd make that compromise. Yeah. So let me flip it real quick. So what if your dude was the world's best trainer, and that's how he gets his clientele, and he got his abs out every other picture? Is that an issue for you? Being that's how he gets his business. A lot of his clients come through social media.
And that's a different story. If that's what your job is, fine. I may not like it, but if that's what you've been doing to, put money in your pocket all this time, who am I to go ahead and say something? All I can do is I can feel a way about it, but I'm also not going to stop you from getting to your bed.
Okay, so let's do Q, for example. Q, you on stage often. You ain't nothing like a person who's funny. You know what I'm saying? So you got a room full of motherfuckers laughing at you. Everybody finds that attractive. Now cats slide in your